Good morning, I'm Kristen Van Dyke.
And I'm the face of Fox for like 48 hours still.
48 hours, yeah.
I'm in for Nikki Stanzione.
And this is New Mexico Style, and Nikki is out today.
Yes, Nikki's out today. Rest up, Nikki. She had a fall. I think she sprained her ankle. But I'm beginning to think that the two of you may be secret crime fighters, because there's all these mysterious injuries.
We sneak out at night and fight for world peace.
Fight for justice.
Yeah, so yeah, I have my scar. I have my glasses on today, though.
I love them.
So yeah, neither one of us doing too well, but poor Nikki, she's laid out with a sprained ankle. That is painful. So Nikki, rest up, get better. We need you back for Balloon Fiesta.
Yes.
And tomorrow too, because tomorrow is a huge
day. There's
day.
something going on here tomorrow.
We find out who the next face of Fox will be.
That is right. That's well, we had more than 100 people send in videos, and we were down to the top 5 finalists. Tomorrow we'll find out which one will take over as the new face of Fox.
Yeah, what do you say about this, Elias? Do you have any advice for the new face of Fox?
Yes, eat well, exercise, and get your sleep, because you're gonna need it.
You're kind of all over the place, right? I mean, you do so many things.
I do everything, but luckily for me, I'm a early riser and a night owl, so I don't know how I worked that out, but I
at the same time.
I have a genuine interest in everything. I'm one of those guys who knows a lot about everything, but can't really apply any of it anywhere. But I do have a genuine interest in things, and I think that's what I would say. Open up your mind and your heart to New Mexico and the various things that it offers, and there's a lot. I mean, there's too much for me to see in just one year.
Well,
but
you've
it's been
done
great.
a heck of a job, and we're so gonna miss you.
Oh, go on, please.
We are, but yeah, we announced a winner tomorrow, so you definitely want to tune in for that.
Yes.
But for now, let's go ahead and check in with KRQE News 13 anchor Elizabeth Alvarez for this morning's headlines. Good morning, Elizabeth.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Hey, Elias, you're always going to be part of the family. I'm sure you'll be around all the time.
Yes, I'll visit.
You'll make an appearance or two. I think we have him doing a lot of work at Balloon Fiesta.
I'm sure he will. But no, it's a definitely exciting time with the Face of Fox. We'll have to wait and see who it is tomorrow. In the meantime, good morning to you at home. 1 down, 2 more presidential debates to go. Last night, the debate covered mostly domestic issues, and the two candidates pretty much clashed on just about everything. Bagad Shaban has a recap.
The first presidential debate started with a handshake and a romantic moment.
20 years ago, I became the luckiest man on earth because Michelle Obama agreed to marry me.
And congratulations to you, Mr. President, on your anniversary. I'm sure this was the most romantic place you could imagine, here with me.
The theme of the debate for President Obama appeared to be that Romney's plans lack specifics.
Is the reason that Governor Romney is keeping all these plans to replace secret because they're too good?
Mitt Romney spent most of the night attacking the president's record.
You've been president 4 years. You said you cut the deficit in half. It's now 4 years later. We still have trillion-dollar deficits.
Mitt Romney came into the debate trailing in the polls, but that could change after last night's performance.
Anytime a challenger stands on the stage with the president in the first debate, they tend to get some bounce out of it. I expect that could happen here.
The Romney campaign believes the governor scored a knockout.
I do believe that Governor Romney was the clear winner of this debate. If it was a boxing match, it would have been called.
An instant CBS News poll of independent voters shows Romney was the overwhelming winner. 46% of the people we surveyed say Romney won the debate, but moderator and PBS anchor Jim Lara might not feel the same way.
I'm sorry, Jim. I'm going to stop the subsidy to PBS. I'm going to stop other things. I like PBS. I love Big Bird. I actually like you too. But I'm not going to keep on spending money on things to borrow money from China to pay for it.
The two men will square off again October 16th. Bagad Shaban, CBS News, Denver. In Denver.
And there are only 5 weeks left until Election Day. And you may have noticed or not noticed a familiar face. That was this gentleman right here that was not part of the presidential debate last night. Former New Mexico Governor Gary Johnson, who is running for president as a Libertarian. Well, he can't get into the debates because his poll numbers are not high enough. Instead, Johnson was online last night during the debate giving his ideas on the issues and on what President Obama and Mitt Romney were saying. In other news this morning, Cowgirl Barbecue, a popular restaurant in Santa Fe, will stop selling alcohol temporarily because of a deadly DWI crash that happened a couple of years ago. Back in 2010, police say Kylene Holmes and her passenger were drinking at the restaurant when Holmes then got behind the wheel and drove the wrong way on I-25. Police say she ran into an ambulance, injuring the driver. Holmes ended up dying. The New Mexico Department of Public Safety cited the restaurant for, quote, over-serving Holmes. It's been ordered to pay a $10,000 fine and stop selling alcohol for 4 days. A state lawmaker wants to eliminate big payouts for state employees who leave their position. Representative Bill Ream is pushing to deny payouts for public employees who are fired or who quit before their contracts are up so that you, the taxpayer, won't have to fork over more money for them to leave. As we reported, the president at New Mexico State University just resigned, and she is getting paid over $400 grand to leave, plus getting the remainder of her salary this year. Now, since 2006, taxpayers have paid presidents and coaches who have resigned under pressure more than $3 million. Ream says he will try to push a bill addressing the issue during the legislature in January. Excuse me. I'm coughing because this one is quite the shocker. Someone in New Mexico won $1 million in the lottery, and now we know who that person is. Take a look.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It's really amazing. It sort of has changed the idea of I've sort of upgraded my bucket list.
Well, we are talking about Judge Michael Vigil. He was a district court judge in Santa Fe for about 18 years. And get this, he just retired on Friday, then bought a Powerball ticket on Saturday, and then on Sunday, he realized he had won the lottery. Judge Vigil's getting one big payment, $690,000, and he says he'll use that money to travel and pay bills. Man, what luck. And what cough, excuse me, pardon me. That wraps it up for your morning headlines. Be sure to catch Matt, Kristen, and myself every weekday morning on KRQE News 13 beginning at 4:30 a.m. All right, guys, I'm taking a break here.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Drink a cup for me, too.
Yeah, wow, that's
Elizabeth.
pretty amazing. Winning the
Can
lottery.
you imagine?
I can't say anything about Judge Vigil because, well, I guess he's retired. I can.
Well, I know I have some things on my bucket list that I definitely need to win the lottery to achieve, so good for him, because he's probably going to get to do it all.
That's on my bucket list, is upgrading my bucket list.
We need to get, there's so much to see. I mean, you could do it all in New Mexico almost. There's so many
You can.
fabulous
That
things
is
here.
without a doubt. You can definitely do it.
I swear,
everything.
I moved to New Mexico, I've like crossed off 4 things just from the state for my bucket
We got to
list,
get
and
this
that is
girl in a
not
plane.
joke.
Me too, in a plane, and then jump out.
That's what you're.
That's
on.
on. It's on my list.
You
Yeah.
gotta do it then.
That and then NASCAR racing.
Yeah. Get it done.
I'm gonna do it. I
right.
promise.
Well, Breaking Bad fans, take a look at this. Walter White action figures. Have you seen this?
I had not seen them, but it's so cool, and I know that people are going nuts for these. Sculptor and illustrator Trevor Grove, a young artist from Southern California, hand sculpted 3 custom 12-inch figurines of Walt as a labor of love.
Oh, and you can definitely pick out Walt right off the bat, the
No
one
doubt.
with no pants.
I love.
Do you remember that from the first episode?
Yes.
He's always running around without any pants.
That is fun. I
the
love
show.
the chem suit. That's
Yeah.
the mad scientist look.
Oh yeah, and of course him being all
Yes.
bad when he's like.
The kingpin.
Yes, when he's the kingpin in the middle there. So Trevor obviously is a big Breaking Bad fan, and he gifted the action figures to the show's creator, Vince Gilligan. Unfortunately, they're not available to the public as of now, but maybe one day.
The Swami says that I do foresee those being sold because that's just such a hot ticket item,
that is so
especially
cool.
now. Good for him, and I know Vince Gilligan. I don't know him, but I know he probably really kind of treasures those.
Sure, he is enjoying it. Well, the Lone Ranger rides into theaters in the next year, and the trailer has just been released.
The film stars Johnny Depp, as many of us know, as Tonto, and Arm Hammer as the Lone Ranger in the film. Armie Hammer, rather, and they are brought together by fate and must join forces to battle greed and corruption. Here's your first look at the trailer. I don't know how.
From the time of Alexander the Great, no man could travel faster than the horse that carried him. Not anymore. Imagine time and space under the mastery of man. Power that makes emperors and kings look like fools. Whoever controls this controls the future. There come a time was over here. One good man must wear a mask.
Oh, that was awesome.
Sorry, I was like zoning out there. That looks really good.
Did you get the Pirates of the Caribbean vibe from it? Gore Verbinski directing that movie. He directed all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, so you can kind of see that in some of the editing, I think, and you get kind of that feel.
It has that feel, the movement of it, the kind of that action, and you feel like you're actually there on the train. And Johnny Depp he's awesome.
Amazing.
Only he could pull that off with the thing on his head.
He can pull off
anything,
any of these characters that he plays, and they're kind, a lot of them are just kind of not out there, but they're.
He's a dynamic actor.
Very dynamic, yes.
Very dynamic.
Incredible. I can't wait. Believe we have to wait all the way till July to see it, but it's going to be good when it comes out.
It'll be worth it.